All right, everyone, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Oh, it's the first day of mandatory minicamp. You gotta love mandatory minicamp because that, you know what? It means we're pushing closer to that first day of minicamp towards the end of July. Is there anything coming out of these minicamps or these OTAs that are of concern at the moment? No, in my mind, no. Why? Because it's June. Ask me in August. Ask me if Kayvon Thibodeau is still wearing a red jersey in September or the end of August, then I have some concerns. He can wear a pink and polka dot jersey if he wants to, as long as when it's time to suit up and rise above, that he's there. As usual in these camps, defense was seeming to be ahead of the offense. And I love it because people are like, that's going to be the new, that's going to be not the new norm, but that's going to be the talking point, that the defense is ahead of the offense. It's always that way early on. It's always that way because it's a lot easier to attack than it is to work through the nuances of your offense. They said that the defense looks simply better than the offense right now, and it was a much better group together on 11-11 drills. Wink Martindale's heavy blitz scheme was in full throttle, consistently pressuring Daniel Jones and keeping the offense in check all afternoon. I would expect that. I would expect no less. Zach Rosenblatt said, Martindale is throwing different looks at the offense in just about every play, blitzing safeties, having the edge rushers drop into coverage with extra defensive backs. It's a lot. It's far from a new. It's a lot of a new look offense to handle. It's a lot. It's not just what it is. Belton evidently was being used with some heavy defensive blitzes and during the session. You also have to remember there's only a 2-hour field session on mandatory minicamp. So you have to remember that as well. Good news is Daniel Jones has actually been, cleared for contact. And that's something I have said before. I was always finding it a little disconcerting that the fact that we were heading into June and July and no one ever mentioned that he was cleared for contact. I always thought that I always thought the Giants should come out at one point and say, if the season was to start today, Daniel Jones would be cleared for contact. And Daniel Jones could play. And I think they basically, Dable came out and said it. He said it right now, that he said that he's made a full recovery and ready to turn to the field in a maximum capacity. You got to love that. I love that sentence. I love with the maximum capacity. Evidently today, Daniel Jones was unofficially, I believe he was, where did I see these numbers? 13 for 21. And he was under constant pressure. And they were saying Tyrod Taylor demonstrated himself as a major backup. And again, that's coming from Zach Rosenblatt. And I think that's great. And that's what you want to see. Brian Dable had a great comment that was on Giants.comments. Yeah, plan is right now, we're going to do it, says Dable. I think it's a good practice with the guys from down the Oh, they're talking about the Jets. I'm sorry. They're talking about the holding a joint practice with the Jets. And I'm sorry, Dable, I was reading something. I was getting ready to watch the Ranger game. I was reading something that says, yeah, the plan is right now that we're going to do it, says Dable. I think it's a good practice with the guys down the street playing a different conference. I know the coach. He's really a good coach. We've had a lot of good talks. I think it's a good chance to come out here and be competitive against the other players they're not practicing against throughout the summer. As long as we do it the right way, we want to treat these guys like they just are like our teammates that we're practicing. So I think that's Coach and I had to have some good conversations moving forward. I think they should hold a joint practice because honestly, the Giants really, you know what I find funny? The Giants really only have one home preseason game, and that's going to be the August 21st game against the Bengals. And then they play, of course, at home. And the next home game they have, it's not a home game. They're playing the Jets. And the Jets are going to be the home team. Other highlights from the mandatory minicamp. Of course, Kadarius Toney back out again. He's in, he's out. He's in, he's out. Evidently, there was a trio of running backs got their hand on the ball with touchdown catches in today's practice. It seems that Saquon Barkley was being used heavily today out of the backfield in reference to catching the ball. We're getting a little better look about what the Giants are going to do. It looks like we're going to have a lot of guys coming out of the backfield catching some passes, which is what you figure. Cornerback Zion Gilbert nearly had a pick six, but had to settle for just a pass breakup. He's an undrafted rookie who played 60 games at a Florida Atlantic. And he was the CUSA honorable mention of 2021. Another touchdown. Barkley had a big play down the sideline, catching a ball in stride for a sizable game. We had a Carter Coughlin sighting. He broke up a pass. So did Aaron Robinson to Cordell Flott. Jordan Atkins had a pair of catches from David Webb. Why I keep saying Webbs? David Webb. But right now, I think, you know what? I honestly think the biggest thing I think to come out of today was the fact that Daniel Jones is 100% clear for contact. I think that, to me, that is the moment of the day. Just hearing that news, you got to, even if you don't like the kid, it's got to put a smile on your face as a Giant fan because of the fact that that's what you want to see. That's what you want to hear. And that's, like I said, I've said it before and I keep saying it a million times. If the Giants are to win, and I'm not saying they're going to win, but if they're going to be competitive this year, they're going to have someone such as Daniel Jones come in here and play well. I'm still saying they're going to win 5 games, but if you want to win less than 5 games, the way to do that is to have Daniel Jones not be available. And I'm not saying he's going to be the quarterback for next year. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but it's good to see that he is ready to jump into action. We got a surprise coming up on Friday. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. But we got a nice surprise coming up on Friday. I'll make that announcement on Thursday. We got a bunch of fun stuff coming up in the near future. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you can ring that bell, you think what that means? That'd be awesome.